Great Tuesday evening. I hope you are having a fantastic day. I'm going to give you all an opportunity to start popping on. I'm going to grab my notes here and make sure, pull up the live stream, my phone, just to make sure that I am live and I can see all of the comments. There we go. Yes. All right. So we are there. I can see it. We just all of the comments. All right. Sweet beans. Like I said, I hope you had a fantastic day. I have had an extremely busy day today. Meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. And you know what? It's like that sometimes, especially in this virtual world that we are living in as a result of COVID. So first of all, if you are new to me, this is your first time joining me live or watching one of my live stream videos, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you found your way to my page. I am Trasetta Alexander, business productivity coach and CEO of Profitable Productivity, LLC. And what I do is partner with corporate women who are looking to ditch that 9 to 5 by monetizing their expertise as a coach or a consultant. And they need to figure out how they're going to do that alongside their 9 to 5 without sacrificing what matters most, which is faith, family, and freedom. And it is my privilege and honor to be with you tonight. I love teaching, I love training. And I love all things productivity. And so, in fact, tonight, that's what we're talking about. In case you didn't guess it, as the title of this live stream goes, we are going to be talking about the frequency of consistency. Yes, the frequency of consistency. So if you heard yourself or someone you know, when I was sharing with you what I do, who I am, what I do, go ahead and tag a lady leader, tag that corporate woman, or let me know in the comments that, hey, you're talking to me. That's me. I'm ready to leave my 9 to 5 job and go on my own. I need to know how I can set myself up to do that coach or consultant, really monetize my expertise so that I can position myself to be able to head on out the door for the last time and work for myself. So if that's you, let me know in the comments that's you. Or if you know someone, tag them in the comments because they are going to want to hear this message tonight. Again, I'm going to be sharing on the frequency of consistency. Also, let me know that you're here. Say hello. I am very interactive. I love to chat with you all. So feel free to communicate with me in the comments, ask me questions, drop your comments, because I want this to be a two-way street. I want us to have a conversation. Hello, Tammy Shelton. Welcome on in. So glad to see you this evening. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. I have actually 5 points, if you will, that I want to make tonight as it relates to the frequency of consistency. A lot of times, and I talk a lot about consistency, and a lot of times we feel like we have to sit down and spend hours and hours of time working on our goals, right? We have these big, audacious goals for our lives, for our businesses, and we feel like if we can't sit down and spend an hour or 2 or 5, 3 or 4 hours, if we can't spend a huge chunk of time working on it, then how in the world are we actually going to make any progress? So yes, Tammy, I'm so glad that you said that I am talking to you. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Cuz. So glad to see you on this evening. Right. So how many of you have some big goals that you have for yourself? And this goes for you, whether you are a business owner or whether you want to start a business or not. Just let me know in the comments. Do you have big goals for your life? Do you have big dreams? Some things that you are reaching for? You said, this is what I want, and I want to do the work so that I can actually grab hold of the thing that I am, that I'm wanting, the thing that I'm desiring. Right? I see. So I see a thumbs up from Jackie. Anyone else? Anyone else have some big goals that they're wanting to accomplish? Let me know. I want to hear it. And the truth of the matter is, when it comes to goal achieving, yes, there will be times when you make some huge progress or when you get these like big leaps that propel you forward. But the majority of the time, it's going to be through small, teeny tiny baby steps in the right direction. What I like to say is Kaizen. It's those tiny steps that small incremental progress in the direction that you desire to go. And in order for you to, actually make that progress, sorry, I got distracted. In order for you to make that progress, it's those small steps, that momentum that you build up from doing the small thing over time. And actually, you know what? I want to tell the story that my husband used to tell all the time when he was pastoring. He talks about this gentleman by the name of Paul. And Paul bought this house that had this big, huge, like stone wall. It was made from like the best, strongest material. And he just didn't like it. It was an eyesore. He really wanted to tear it down. And every day he would go out into his yard with his sledgehammer and pow, hit the wall just one time with a sledgehammer. And his neighbor was like, dude, you're not gonna be able to knock that wall down. It is made of the best, strongest, finest materials. You're just not going to be able to knock it down. But Paul didn't care. Every single day, he kept going out there, pow, hitting the wall, one day after day, day after day, day after day. The people in the town thought he was crazy. They talked about Paul, right? How many times have you shared your idea, shared your goal with people, and they think that you're crazy? They might not even, some people might say it to your face, but they might not say it to your face, but word will get back to you. And they'll be like, girl, she thinks she's going to start a business and be successful. She's going to be right back on her job, or she's going to be right back looking for a job, right? That's how people do. When you are going after something big, when you are going after a major goal, what happens is it makes people uncomfortable. It makes them uncomfortable because it stretches you. The true purpose of a goal is the person that you become in the process, right? The true purpose of a goal is the person that you become along the way to achieving that goal, because it stretches us. It causes us to step outside of our comfort zone. It causes us to do things that we have never done before, because in order for you to have something different, you have to do differently. If you keep doing things over and over again, you're going to keep getting the same result. So you have to change what you're doing. And so just like our friend Paul from the story, people thought he was crazy because he was trying to knock down all that, and they thought it was impossible for him to do it. But Paul didn't allow the people in his town, the people around him, to stop him from going out every day and hitting that wall. And over a period of time, I don't know how much time passed, but over a period of time, he finally goes out there one day and pow, hits the wall, and the wall begins to crumble. Right? It's the same way with your goals. It is the frequency of consistency that creates the momentum and allows you to create the progress on the goal, so that eventually you actually see, boom, manifestation of the thing that you are desiring to do. So I said I had 5 points for you. So we're going to go through these really quickly. The very first thing that I want to talk about, why consistency is so important, why the frequency of consistency is so important, is it enables you to start quickly. We all know starting something new is hard. We will put it off and be like, oh, I will start tomorrow, or I'll start next week, or I'll start at the beginning of the month. It is hard to get started on something. But once you get started, you find it is easier to keep going, right? When you are consistent in doing actions that are driving the results, that are driving the momentum towards your goal, and you're doing that consistently day after day after day after day, what happens is the material or whatever it is that you're working on, it is fresh in your mind. You don't have to start again, right? Because you just yesterday, so you know where you left off. It's a lot easier for you to dive right back in and keep going. But think about if you were say you were writing a book and you were writing a chapter and you sat down today and you spent 30 minutes writing and that's all you had was 30 minutes and you got up and you didn't come back to write again for a whole nother week, and then you sat down to write. How many of you know that when you sit down to write, you haven't looked at what you wrote since a week ago? You don't remember what you wrote. So you're going to have to sit there, read through the entire thing, try and get back into the flow, try and get things going again. And it's going to take you more time to actually get things rolling. It's harder to get started or harder to restart when you are not being consistent the reason why I said the frequency of consistency is because the frequency matters. You might be consistent on a weekly basis doing it once a week, but if you increase that to say 3 times a week or 5 times a week or every single day, that frequency of consistency is going to make it easier and easier for you to start for each day, right? So the point number 1 is it enables you to start quickly. My second point, when you are doing things consistently, it reduces the pressure for you to produce. Again, let's go back to the example of writing a book. If you are only writing once a week, there is a lot of pressure on you to make whatever it is that you're writing really good, because it's going to be a whole nother week before you write again. But when you are writing daily, then you're not caught up in much. You're not caught up in as much of the trying to make it perfect. You are just focused on the writing. You can just focus on the writing part, knowing that you're going to be producing a large quantity of writing, a large quantity of paragraphs over the next week. So it enables you to be able to say, I can go back later and pare it down. I can go back later and edit it and make it good. I just want to focus on getting things off. So that pressure is off of you to make when you are consistent, when you are frequently consistent, and you get that steady progress, right? Those teeny tiny baby steps in the right direction, as opposed to those gigantic leaps. Nothing wrong. Yes, you'll still have those gigantic leaps. Nothing wrong with getting gigantic leaps. We all want those, but it is the consistency. It's that day in, day out. You don't have that pressure to produce. So when you are less stressed, you are able to be more focused, you're able to be more clear. And one of the things that I always say, I got this from one of my coaches some years ago, clarity creates. So when you are stress-free and you are clear, then it is much easier for you to create whatever it is that you're wanting to create. And that leads me into point number 3, which is consistency fosters creativity. Consistency fosters creativity. When you are being consistent in whatever it is that you're doing, it helps you to be engaged, to be constantly or continually, consistently engaged in the project. And when you are consistently engaged, that will encourage inspiration because you're in it. You're like, oh, what if I do this? Oh, what if I try it this way? What if I do this instead? What's going to happen then? Because you're being consistent, you can play with things and finagle things, and you will be inspired more to do things differently and maybe stumble upon an idea that's going to make that momentum or make your project, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, make it that much easier, right? So consistency fosters creativity. My 4th point is that consistency develops the habit of productivity, right? You know, I am all about productivity, and productivity is different from being busy. A lot of us are busy. We have all kinds of things on our to-do list, and we are just going through the day, checking things off, checking things off, checking things off. and like, oh, I was busy today. And we as a society, we glorify busy. It is a badge of honor for us to say, I'm busy. I'm in this thing, I'm in this thing, and I did this, and I had this many meetings, and we glorify that. But just because you are doing a lot of things, doesn't mean that you are productive. When I say productive, that means that the actions that you are taking are producing results that are creating momentum, creating the results you desire, are driving you towards your goal. Right? It is you're working on your priorities, the things that are most important. Because just because you have on your to-do list, just because you have it on your to-do list to let's say do laundry or to go grocery shopping, okay, yeah, those are things that quite frankly need to get done. But is that the best use of your time? Is that something you could delegate to somebody else? I'm getting off on a tangent here. Let me rein it back in. But when you are being consistent, that helps you to create that habit of productivity. You are producing results because you are consistently, right, day in, day out, working, doing the work. It's making things easier to get done. How many times have you, you could probably relate to this. Have you ever been driving somewhere and you're going in the direction of some place that you go frequently? Let's say that you're going in the direction of, say, your 9 to 5, or maybe it is you're going in the direction of your home, but you're not going home. You're going somewhere else, and because you're so accustomed to going to the building where you work or going to your home, you start going as if you're going home, and you realize you kind of snap out of it. You're like, oh, wait, I'm not going home. I'm supposed to be going over here. Anybody? I know that has happened to me so many times. It's because you start to get into autopilot mode, because it becomes natural to you. That is what happens when you are being consistent in doing the activities or the actions that drive the results of your goals. It becomes easier for you to get stuff done because it becomes muscle memory. It becomes like second nature to you. And rather than that resistance, you are able to actually move forward. So it goes back to just like what I was saying, earlier. It makes it easier. We know starting is hard and restarting is just as hard. But if you keep that consistency going, then it becomes easier for you to get things done. Right. And my last point that I have for you tonight is that it makes your goals feel like they are within reach. When you are being consistent, it makes goals feel like they are within reach. Let's go back to our writing the book example. If you, let's say you had a goal that you wanted your book to be 30,000 words. That's about, the length of the book that you want. And you say, I want to give myself 90 days to write my book. Let me get my calculator out. And you're going to write every single day for a short period of time. And 30,000 words divided by 90 days, that is 333 words, 333.33. Now, how many of you know 300 words, 400 words, 500 words is about the length of one sheet of paper typed out? That's 500 words. Breaking it down that way into that teeny tiny step that you're doing daily, that you're doing consistently, like, oh, that's easy. I could write 1 page a day. I could write 300, 400, 500 words a day. That'll only take me, say, 30 minutes. So if you carve out 30 minutes every day, then long as I hit that writing goal of 350 words every single day, then I know that I'm going to be on target to complete my book and have my 30,000 words by the end of my 90-day period. And even if you, let's say one day you're just not feeling it, you're not, and the words just aren't flowing, and you fall short, maybe you end with 250 words one day. Well, another day you might be in a flow state and you're just going and you end up with 600 words one day. Of averages will balance or work in your favor so that in the end it will all average out. So you have a day when you fall short and you'll have another day when you go over, and in the long run it'll average out so that you still meet your goal, right? So the frequency of consistency helps to make goals feel like they are within reach. And I want to share with you this quote that from Aristotle, and it says, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit." When you are, remember we talked about that developing. Point number 4 was talking about developing. It helps to develop the habit of productivity. You have to make the actions that you need to take towards your goals habit. You need to turn it into a habit so that it becomes easy, so that the goal that you have feels so much more attainable. One of the ways that I help my clients is that I help them go through, as they're going through the process of setting their goals, I help them to break them down and to say, okay, what are the things that you need to do consistently in order to hit your goal? And then we do the math, figure out how many of each one of the actions they need to take are going to yield the results that they desire in order for them to actually hit their goal. And then I give them a tool to track their progress. So if it is, in our example, if it's to write 300 words a day, then they have a tracker. I call it a success tracker worksheet where they can track every day. They'll write how many words in each of the blocks, how many words they write that day for the week. So Sunday through Saturday, today 250, tomorrow 300. I wrote 600 this day, 400 this day, right? Each day, and they will track their progress. And that makes it so much easier. In fact, I have a free tool that you all can use if you want to go through the process of tracking. If you want to track your progress towards your goals, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link. I'm going to put a banner up, but you can go to TrasettaAlexander.com/goal tracker and download a free copy of my, there we go. You can grab a free copy of my goal tracker printable pack. It walks you through, there's 6 different worksheets. One that walks you through the process of setting your goals, go through the process of brainstorming, creating your action plan, identifying your milestones, identifying roadblocks, things that might get in your way, planning your week so that you are able to focus on the things that are most important for you, as well as that success tracker worksheet. So grab a copy of that, go through the process of breaking down your goals into those small bite-sized pieces, those teeny tiny baby steps, where you can be consistent, frequently consistent, so that you can drive the results that you want. Because I want each one of you to hit your goals. I want you to, for those of you who are desiring to step into full-time entrepreneurship as a coach or consultant, I want you to realize that dream. I want you to realize that goal, but it's going to come through consistent action that drives the results that you want. So grab a copy of my goal tracker printable pack at TrasettaAlexander.com /goal tracker. The link is down below. Go ahead, grab your copy and start the process. And if you do, let me know. I want to know. Tell me what your goal is so that I can cheer you on. Also, if you want to be surrounded by like-minded women who are also working on building their business, building their brand so that they can do the same thing, come on, join us over in Purposed, Productive, and Profitable. That's my private Facebook group. Love to have you over there. We are a small community, but we are very supportive of one another, and we help to hold each other accountable to making progress towards our goals, and not just kind of sitting on our duff and saying, oh, I wish I could do this, or I want this. No, what are the actions that you're taking to drive the results that you need? So that is all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I will see you all next week. Have a great night.